good afternoon to today's conversation with Odogwu, one of the best actors in Nigeria and in Africa. And it is my pleasure to be the host and to have him as my guest. So thank you so much for joining. May I know where exactly you're joining from? Where exactly are you joining from? And how are you doing? It's a beautiful Sunday. I see my nephew in the house. It's a beautiful Sunday. Where exactly are you joining from? It is 12 noon here. So I see from Ghana, I see from New Jersey, I see from UK. Thank you so much for joining. Please tell your friends to be a part of it. We're having a live conversation with Uzor Arukwe, and he's a multi-talented gentleman that we have been able to experience his creativity and to feast on for at least a decade. So thank you so much for showing up. I see my nephew. I see I see my mom in the house. I see my nephew. Thank you to all of you for showing up. I am expecting Uzor in the studio any moment from now. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions that you would like me to ask him. I have 15 solid and beautiful questions here waiting for him. You know, they're questions that you've not heard before, so it is not anything close to what you've heard before. You'll be hearing his responses to the questions today. And if you have any questions, please send in the questions. Just let me know what exactly you want us to ask him. And it is a beautiful time to invite your friends, your family, anybody that you know that loves Uzor to be here right now, as we will be hosting him pretty soon and we'll be asking him questions live. So if you are his fan, anything, like any questions that you have for him, please drop the questions. Please drop the questions. Please drop the questions. Please drop the questions. Any questions that you have, please drop the questions. And then I also want to ask, have you seen the movie Love in Every Word? What was the best part of that movie for you? What was the best part of Love in Every Word, that movie for you? Please talk to me in the comment section. We'll be bringing him up soon. Let me see what is in the comment section. What was the best part of Love in Every Word for you? What was the best part? What was the best part for you? What was the best part in that movie, Love in Every Word? What was the best part of that movie for you? Just let me know where. Which of the scenes was your best part? Have you seen the movie Love in Every Word? Which was the best? What was the best scene for you? Which word or statement? What struck a chord in you? What made you like the movie? What did Uzor do? What did Bam Bam do? What part of the story struck a chord in you? Like how interesting was it for you? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. We'll be bringing him up very soon. Just let me know, how interesting was that for you? What was going on at the back of your mind as you were watching the movie? Let me know what was going on at the back of your mind. I'm here to read your comments. I'm here to read your comments. Just let me know what's up. Let me know what is going on. So I really admire your actions. Okay, I really admire his actions. It's as if he wrote the script. He was so confident that that he would marry her. He was so confident that he would marry her. Okay, so that's Odogwu being confident that he was going to marry ACHALUGO. Beautiful. Please talk to me. What part was good for you? What part of the movie was the highest for you? What part of the movie was the highest for you? Just give me a second as I prepare to bring him up stage. What part of the movie was the highest for you? Comment. What part of Love in Every Word? As at the last time I checked, Love in Every Word had about 20 million views in just a couple of days. Like, you guys went ahead to kill it. Some people saw it like twice or three times, all of those good stuff. And I am asking now that what part of that movie was the best for you? What part of it was solid and good? Like, what's your favorite part there? So talk to me. I'm trying to get your favorite actor on stage. So I am waiting for him to join. And once he does, then the questions will be here. So Uzor Arukwe is finally in the house. And I need you guys to tell everybody that you know. Odogwu one.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm here.
I was waiting for your cultural band. We need to sing. Waiting for your cultural band. We cannot just you cannot come in like that. We need to praise
So
you.
sorry.
Odogwu one.
I'm actually on set, so I had to rush out because I was filming. So
Yes,
I'm so
thank you
sorry,
so
man.
much. Thank you so much. It's going to be fast and swift.
Sure, sure,
Thank you
sure,
so
sure,
much.
sure.
Everybody, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Odogwu one is here. I know that you guys are waiting to feast on the replay and stuff, and we're going to dive right in. So before we dive right in, I need to first of all let Uzor know that thank you so much for being a visual experience. You know, for someone like me who has feasted on all of the good things that you have done for over a decade. And it is beautiful to see one of the best actors and greatest that you've seen him evolve. You know, and I was watching Colors yesterday. To be very fair, you know, most of us watch movies when we really see our people there. So when I saw Colors, I was like, oh, that's my Odogwu now. Let me just go and show solidarity. And I was like, you know, when I finished watching Colors yesterday, I'm like, I beg, Uzo, don't let me reduce this love that I have for you, because you can't move from Odogwu to now be doing Papa Blessing and be eating granuts. I'm like, I beg, Uzo, let's stay faithful, please. Like, we need to be looking at the movies that you are doing, because we can't afford to just you can't be buying, you know, a building with cash and then be eating granite in the same month. I'm like, I'm like, no. We need to know what exactly is going on. But it was beautiful. And the beautiful part of it is seeing you get your flowers while you're here. You know,
Thank you, man.
seeing you really, you know, get
So
what
I'm
is
sorry.
due
I'm
to
sorry
you.
to cut you off. Not to
Okay.
cut you off really, but so I wish I could hear. I can hear you, but it's not as loud as I wanted it to be. So
Okay. Is it louder now?
it's a bit louder, yes.
Okay,
But
beautiful.
I want to
Can
see
you
if
hear
there's
me
anything I
better
can do
now?
from my end. But I mean, it's fine. I can manage it. I'll just wing it. It's not as loud, and I don't have
Okay, maybe
my
I'll just
ear.
speak up.
Okay, it's fine. It's all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you could
Okay.
do that, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I was saying that it's beautiful to see, you know, I liked the response when I saw the movie Love in Every Word, and the fact that
Yeah.
everybody went for it. And as a researcher, I had to sit down to say, why exactly are people in love with this movie? And something struck a chord in me is the fact that ladies genuinely like to be chased, you know, and they also want to be chased by good men, because the
Yeah.
character in that movie was a good man who knew what he wanted, and he was ready to go for what he wanted without also overstepping boundaries. You know, it was obvious he had self-awareness, and you knew when to pull back to say, you know what, I'm not going to be desperate, even though I desire to chase you. So I want to say thank you for all of those things. And the
You're
questions
welcome,
that
man.
we have, I'm about to dive into them so that you can go back to set. So the first one, the first hot question, the first hot question is, many people know you for your powerful on-screen presence, but would like to know Uzor Arukwe when the cameras are not rolling.
Um, I'm pretty much a very chilled out guy. Like I'm very chill, very mellow. You know, I love to have a good time. I love to have
Mm,
a good laugh with good people. Sometimes, most times, I prefer to stay by myself, so that I can just self-appraise. I believe a lot in self-appraisal
mm,
and telling myself the truth. But to relax and to just chill,
mm,
mostly just be around good company, good people, have a few drinks, share ideas, just have a good laugh, basically. And
mm.
that's who I am when I'm not working. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much. I was also wondering that was there a defining moment in your life when you knew that acting really was your calling? I'm aware you used to be in the corporate sector at a time. You also worked in the bank, but I'm wondering when or what part that you really knew that acting was your calling.
I'm trying to switch to the one. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
switch. So I had to switch to my other phone that is connected to my card so I can hear you
Okay.
properly. And that's what I was trying to do the entire time. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
good. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, loud and clear.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear. We can hear you.
Oh, sweet. Yes, this is better. This is a lot better. Please ask again. Ask your question again.
I was like, was there a defining moment in your life when you knew that acting was your calling? I know that you have history of working in the corporate sector and also in the bank,
Yeah.
but at what
Yeah.
moment did you know that I was born to be an Odogwu?
Okay, so growing up, there was a message
Mm,
that I heard as a young, maybe teenager, early teen, maybe my 13s or 14s. There's a
mm,
message that I heard, and the message was telling find your talents. To
mm-hmm.
tell you what your talent is, and to help you, harness it and all of that. I'm a little distracted. Someone was just trying to call me.
Okay,
Hold on a second. Hold on. I just need to tell the person I'm live. I'm sorry.
no
It's
problem.
just going to take a minute. Okay. So so I heard that message, and I just I just told God I needed to know what I wanted to do. What's my
Mm,
talent? What are my talents? And then I realized that I was drawn to the arts.
mm,
I was drawn to the arts so much. But my parents wanted me to do sciences, so that was how I knew that okay, if it's the arts, and then everything in school that I did in school, in secondary school at the time, just made sense. Like it was just art. Everything like English, literature, government, all those subjects that just had to do that were art related. And
mm-hmm,
every time I sang or danced or performed in school, I just got a lot of good response. People were saying, "You're good at this thing. You're good at this thing. Or you should think
mm-hmm,
about doing this thing professionally or as a hobby." So I just kept riding on those, comments, and I started checking myself to see that,
mm-hmm,
okay, every time I did these things, I felt alive. Every time I was on stage, either performing, singing, acting, I had a stint in stand-up comedy at some point in my life as well. So
mm,
every time I did these things, I just felt alive, and it was a good feeling. It was my happy place. I'm always in my element, so that's how I knew that okay, this is what I know that God has called me to do, and I just
mm.
had to follow suit.
Okay, so you were in a state of like a flow. You knew you were in a zone.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yes, yes.
I'm also interested in knowing how you get into character to a point of believability.
How I get into character? Oh well, I use different techniques. There are different
Okay.
techniques for different films. And I don't want to start teaching people acting techniques and all of that. you know, but I mean, like, so there's from this Stanislavski method acting to Meisner to Stella Adler, all these
Mm,
great teachers, have different techniques. But one of the things that is constant amongst all of them is
mhm,
playing the character in the most honest and truthful manner.
mm,
So everything they teach you is basically what you're trying to do is perform in such a way that people cannot tell that you are
mm.
performing. Do you
Okay.
understand? So that's it. So it depends on. So sometimes I would have to go to my emotional reservoir to feel, to look for emotions that felt like that before and remind myself, this is how I felt when I was going
Mm,
through pain or all of those things. So different techniques for different people, or different
mm,
films rather. If it's on stage, if it's on screen, I just have different techniques. So I could, and you know how like a boxer, if
mm,
you say you're a boxer and you only use southpaw, or that's the
mm,
only technique you might be soft, you might be lacking because you might
mhm,
find other boxers who have more skill or know more techniques than you. So what I do is I just deploy whatever technique it is that I
mm,
need. I can sometimes deploy like three or four
mhm,
techniques at the same time.
mm.
So that's it. So that it doesn't look like, I'm sorry, I had to move my car. So
No problem.
yeah, so I just deploy like three or four techniques depending on the kind of film or emotion I'm trying to get out. That's it.
Hmm. So, if I was to ask you, for Love in Everyone, what do you think is the main, or maybe one of the reasons why the film resonates with or resonated with millions of people? Because as at the last time I checked, it had about 20 million views. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you've done so many successful movies and you're still doing awesome ones. But what do you think
Thank you.
really is the connecting point for that Love in Everyone?
I think the average Nigerian, whether in diaspora or here, who live here in
Mm,
the country, just love. We no matter how, we are all business minded people, but somehow we
mm,
like to see love win. You know what I
mm,
mean? Like I think the
mhm,
average Nigerian really loves love. We like to see people happy. And then there's a boisterousness of the character that I played. There's a
mm,
confidence which also resonates amongst Nigerians.
mm,
People say that we are very straightforward people. We're very bold people. We're very
mhm,
confident people. We're confident in our skin, and
mm,
regardless of whatever it is that or whatever it is that we face, we
mm,
just we know who we are. And I feel
mm,
like a lot of Nigerians loved it. They loved the fact that this guy being who he is or who he was, the character, with his
mhm,
accents and all of those things, he was able to conquer, he was able to win the heart of the person that he loved. And then
mm,
somehow he just had the confidence, regardless of it looked like they were not on the same educational class or educational
mm,
level, but he
mhm,
was able to win, and
mm,
I just think that the fact that it was a happy ending made a lot of Nigerians happy.
mm. How did you excavate the chemistry between you and Bam Bam? At a point, I thought both of you were married to each other. I had to be reminding myself that these people are
I
happily
don't know.
married
I
in
mean,
their
like, so.
private lives. Like, what's going on? Like Bam Bam
I,
was so believable. I told her behind the scene, she was
yeah,
so believable. And then I had to go watch different scenes because I actually wrote a story on it from my professional point of view about attachment
yeah.
styles and stuff. But I had to go watch the different scenes and I had to say to myself that Uzo needs to explain himself here. Like Uzo owes the ACHALUGO some explanations. Like what was going on? We need that type of chemistry in our personal life.
I,
So
th-
please run us
I
through it.
also think, and I'm sorry to have cut you off so quickly. I also think that that's another thing that Nigerians really enjoyed, the fact
Mm,
that the chemistry was believable, and that was
yes.
why when I was talking about acting techniques, regardless of whatever technique you decide to deploy, if you
Mm-hmm,
say, I used to be I am still a great student of Meisner and Stella Adler. There's
mm,
Otto Again. There's a lot of other great teachers that have influenced my acting and my techniques.
mm-hmm,
But I just have an idea of everything. But underneath everything that they are saying, they're trying to your primary assignment is to perform believably under imaginary circumstances.
mm.
Now, it was my first time to ever have met Bamba. It was my first time to ever see.
Wow.
I promise you, like I'd never seen her before in my
Wow.
entire life, and yeah, and she's a great mother of two beautiful children, and she's
Mm,
married and all of that. And so what happened was the director gave us a brief and said, okay, how far is too far?
mm,
Are you guys open to, because we don't have a lot of nudity and a lot of, I
mm-hmm,
don't know if I'm allowed to say this, the sex,
mm-hmm,
and we don't have a lot of that, so I need you guys to be as believable as possible. And then the only way we
mm,
can sell it is if the chemistry is there. And
mm,
somehow we took our brief, and as professionals, we just made it work,
mm,
and we didn't have a lot of those scenes. But what I tried to do was every time I looked at her, I had to sell the fact that I was smitten. I had to
mm,
sell the fact that I had to sell the fact that I knew in my guts that this was the woman for me, and I just
mm.
tried to push it as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it was my first time, but as a professional, I had to just sell it and do my job as an actor. That's it.
Thank you. Both of you, are you considering a master class on smithiness? How to teach Odogus and Achalugos? How to convince us?
uh, I don't know. I never pride myself as a facilitator or a teacher or a tutor or whatever
Help,
people choose
help
to
us
call
to
it.
pride yourself for both of you. you know,
But
because
maybe Bam will be able
you
to do
guys
it.
need to help
But
singles because I think one of the challenges will be that some single men don't know how to get their groove on.
yeah, I get that.
you
I
know.
guess.
And then I think one of the reasons why people really liked the movie was you had your groove on. It was from the moment that you saw her that you
Yeah,
brought your A game, you
yeah,
know. And then the A
yeah,
game didn't even leave when it looks like she was avoiding and pushing you away. But there was also a certain point where you said, you know what, I'm going to stop chasing, and then she had to then come look for you. So
yeah.
I think that it resonated because girls genuinely want to see guys with their A games, and then some of these guys just come with "God told me you are my wife," you know, and you're like, go and learn from this movie, I beg. Like, go go and do one master
I
class.
think generally, I just feel that. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Generally, I just feel that. So when I was doing my breakdown as a as for the script, I told myself
Mm,
that I wouldn't want it to look like I was pursuing this girl. I wanted to chase her.
mm-hmm,
And the difference for me between those two things is if you're pursuing a girl, you can pursue a girl for 2 weeks or to rather 2 years.
mm-hmm,
You can pursue a girl for 2 years and you keep pursuing her just because. But if you chase her, you're chasing her because you have a life. You're chasing her like, oh, I like you, I want to be with you, but you're not going to disrupt the flow of my life. I have a
mm,
focus, I have a job, I have friends even before I met you. I'm going to chase you, but the moment you draw the line and say, oh, this is not what I want, I'm going to step back and continue to live my life. Rejection is
mm-hmm,
not a problem. So those were the things, the subtext in my mind as a character that helped propel me. So every time I read the script, I was like, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm going to try to do in this scene. This is what I'm going to try to do in the story. So yeah.
mm.
Oh,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much.
So it takes me to the next question. What stories would you like to be remembered for?
Look, yo, like, see, I mean, it's
You had to go
I
American.
don't
Yo.
know. Like, it's a tough question because you know what I mean. Like, um, I'm an artist. I'm an
Mm,
actor through and through, and I just want to be able to tell compelling stories.
mm-hmm,
I want to be able to tell stories that even if I play the bad guy or the villain, I want you to know the reasons why you shouldn't be a bad guy.
mm,
I want you to learn the lessons. I mean, like, not every film has to have moral lessons or it has to be informative or educative. Sometimes it's just pure entertainment.
mm-hmm,
But I want to do my job so well that you're left satisfied and you actually believe that I was this guy at the time when you were watching this film. You're not
mm-hmm,
seeing Uzor, you're not seeing any, you're just seeing the character. And it's very important to me. So I can't say for one that these are the type of stories or these are the kind of characters I want to be remembered for. But
mm,
in the type of business that I do, when you make a film that is great, somehow the
mm-hmm.
character name just sticks. It might stick
Yeah.
for a long period of time. Sometimes it's a
Mm-hmm,
short period of time. Sometimes, it goes with you forever. But
mm,
if you're believable enough, the character name can stick.
mm.
Am I back? Okay, I'm back.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so I don't know what kind of stories I would love to tell, but I know I love playing the villain. I love playing the
Mm,
villain because I feel like being the antagonist just gives you room to explore emotions. The
mm-hmm,
antagonists they always believe that everything is for the greater good.
mm-hmm,
They just believe that there's a reason we are motivated because he killed my people, he killed my father, he killed my mother, he made my people suffer. So for
mm,
because of this reason, so there's a motivation, and then it's more three dimensional. I
mm,
can taste it. So I prefer because say how our people say they say actor no they die for film. So
mm-hmm,
playing the protagonist sometimes is a little it just I'm like, yeah, everybody knows what's going to happen.
mm,
Everybody kind of knows that this guy is going to win at the end of the day. But
mm,
the antagonist rather just has a little bit more playground, more
mm-hmm,
ground to play and enjoy himself. So yeah,
mm. Thank you. So I have just a couple of questions more before we release you to go back on set. The
yeah.
next one will be, what do you think that people outside of Nollywood needs to know about Nollywood? So for someone like me, I wouldn't mind like being an investor or trying to just say, you know what, support this set of people and stuff. But I don't have enough details. For example, I just watch movies. I don't genuinely know a lot of things that goes on behind the scene. But if you were to invite us into the world of Nollywood, what do you think that we don't know that the actors and directors and everybody in charge of what is going on needs us to know?
Whew, I mean, I mean, it's an industry. It's an evolving market, first of all, and
Mm,
by that I mean is a market in our climate in Nigeria. Nollywood itself is an evolving market, so it's a market that has a lot of factors that are working against it.
mm,
We are one that not we don't have a lot of support from public sectors, from the government. Most times it's private people that try to invest into our business. So there are a lot of
mhm,
factors that are against us. One of the things that I would want for people to know is a very tough job.
mm,
And people don't understand when I say tough job. I actually don't know how to. It's worse than what people say. We work crazy hours. We are
mm,
like the only because we can't delegate our job.
mhm,
When you're hired to do a job, you have to be the person that will do the job. I mean, like I want Uzor in my film. No other person is going to be in that film apart from Uzor.
mhm,
And if we're filming, yes, in some places, in some, some on some contracts, on some films, we are supposed to work 12 hours. But the average Nollywood practitioner who is an actor and crew member, we work more than 15 to 16 hours every day.
mm,
So it's a tedious job. That's one. It's not, I mean, having to work with someone who you've never met before and then build chemistry with them and then also most probably get intimate with them,
mm,
kiss them, all of this thing. It's scary for a lot of us. But
mm,
it's a job hazard that all of us have to embark on or take upon,
mm,
for because it's a source of our livelihood.
mm,
Thirdly, distribution is one of the hardest parts of this job. Distribution is one of the toughest parts of this job. And you can make a great film, great content, whether it's a documentary or any content that you decide to make, whether it's a film or shorts, anything. But it's how to sell it, it's how to
mm,
distribute it that is a big problem for us. So, principal photography and all of those post production work and all of those things you can always navigate your way around it. You can find your way
mm,
around it. But distribution is really tough for us. Secondly, we don't get as paid. We don't get as paid. We don't get the amount of money, the remuneration that we would love.
mhm,
And I'm talking about actors and crew members alike.
mm,
It's a tough job. So sometimes you have to be in a certain space. You have to have been in the industry for a certain amount of years before you begin to. Some people had it easy. Some people
mm,
were really lucky to have started getting paid, a lot of money earlier. But not for all of us. So these
mm,
few things are the things that I would love for people to know. It's a really, like I call it a military work. It's a very tough.
mm,
It's a very tough job. Very
mm,
tough because you have to be at work whether you're happy or not.
mm,
You have to do a lot, and I mean it's the same thing for a lot of other industries. You know what I mean? So,
mhm.
yeah, it's really tough.
I can relate with that because I'm in the military in the US Army and it's part of my life. So beyond the
Are you
fact
in the
that,
military?
oh yeah, in the US Army, I live in the US.
As in, like that's super.
I'm in the mental health space and then I'm also a soldier. So I do civilian and military together.
Wow,
So even
that's
though I'm a full
crazy.
blown, so I can relate with the military is so tough because I was on the field for 8 months last year.
Oh wow,
Mhm. I was on the
wow.
field and then I had my full battle. So when we're talking about that, I'm talking about weapons, bulletproofs, ACH, everything. You sleep with it, you wake up with it, you go to the bathroom with your weapon everywhere because you must always, be at alert. Any strange bow, you are ready.
Wow.
If anybody is going to go down, it shouldn't be you.
Yes, yes.
So I can relate with how tough it is because
Wow,
a
I
part
wouldn't
of
have thought. I
a,
wouldn't have thought in 1,000 years. With
I
your
know.
glasses and I was like, oh, she's so, don't be mental. No, don't play.
I'm
Don't
telling
play,
you,
please. Oh, that's
you know,
interesting. That's really
a
interesting.
part of your life, you don't want to drop anybody, but there's another part of your life where you are responsible to drop people. And you're
Yeah,
saying to yourself that I genuinely don't want to drop, but if you mess around, you're gonna find out.
you're going to find out, man. Like you're going to find. It's not me that will find out. It's you that will find out.
I'm too Nigerian to find out.
Yeah, no.
I'm telling you, I'm too Nigerian to find out, so I can relate. I have two more
Oh wow.
questions. The
Okay.
next one would be, what's the bravest role that you think that you've taken
Ooh,
in
that's a
all of
nice
these
one.
things? Like the most challenging role, which one really got under your skin?
There will be two of them.
Okay.
Um, the first would be okay. There are three. There are
Okay.
three. So I'll just break them down. So the first one would be a tribe called Judah. Why
Mm,
why I would say a tribe called Judah? I played the Igbo character who had the L and R factor,
okay.
where he would mix up where there's an L, he put an R, where there's an R, he put so having to put that in my mind and words that I can pronounce, I have to mispronounce.
Mm-hmm.
Was quite tough. And then with the Igbo accent and then all of that, it was a lot of mental play. Sometimes I would, on the first take, I would pronounce it correctly, and the director would say, "No, no, no, sir. You have to pronounce it. You have to mispronounce it."
Mm-hmm.
So it was tough. It was tough. It was tough doing that. And then there's a film called Criminal. It's on Prime. So A Tribe Called Judah, I believe, is on one of the streaming platforms. I'm not
Yeah, it's
sure
on
which
Prime
one now.
too.
It's
I
on
saw it
Prime
on
as well.
Prime. Yes.
Yeah, and then there's Criminals, which is on Prime as well. So Criminal was tough because we did everything on a hospital set,
Mm.
and it was an emotional roller coaster because of my brother. So it was a story about brotherhood, about two
Mm.
brothers. One is a criminal. So it was a very emotionally driven film, and I had to get to a point where I was crying a lot of times. He was
Mm.
a very hard person. He was a very tough guy, but he was in touch with his emotions. So it was, and the hard guy for us to come cry, he get a CB, So having to cry every time was a little challenging for me. And then the last one, this film is not out, so I'm not allowed to
Mm.
disclose the title. But
Mm.
I play a character. I play Ezedibia,
Okay.
and in my dialect, Ezedibia is like the chief babalawo, like the main. Is it diviner now?
Mm-hmm.
The and so in Igbo land, of course, you can't divine or mediate between the gods and the humans in English.
Mm.
So
Mm.
a large chunk, in fact, all of my lines were in Igbo. Now, people would normally think that I speak Igbo fluently, but I don't actually,
Mm.
And then I wasn't just speaking normal Igbo, I was speaking ancient Igbo,
Mm.
like concentrated Igbo. So it was really tough. But these three films most probably would be some of my toughest roles so
Mm.
far.
Okay. So finally, before the final one, if you were in acting, what do you think you'll be doing?
Ah, man. I don't I like so it would still be arts inclined.
Okay.
I most probably will be teaching film or acting.
Okay.
Most probably.
Mm.
I most probably will be teaching acting or
Mm.
film. Yeah,
So how come you
most
aren't
probably.
doing that now? We want to learn.
I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like,
Odogwu, we want to learn. When you're ready, let me know. I'm interested.
all right, cool. No problem.
Yeah,
No
we
problem.
want to learn because I think that there are some people who should be, to some extent, take on the responsibility to hand over the skill because there's a difference between being just a content creator and an actor.
Yeah,
There was a time when I was in Nigeria, I flew to see Chief Peter Edoche.
yeah.
It took me a year to get the appointment with him, but I
Wow.
did. And he was so kind. He was the one who actually picked me up at the airport. And I was in
Oh
his house
wow.
for 2 days. I
Oh
wanted to leave
wow.
the next day. He didn't allow me. He said no, that I wasn't going to leave. And then the next day, like 2 days after, he dropped me off. And I've met solid people in the industry also. At least I know about 30 to 50 of the actors. And the last time I interviewed Unse Ikpeyetim and then Ibrahim Sulaiman, among so many other people, that I still know and stuff. But I usually just suggest that if we have solid people, we need to tell the stories
Yeah,
and we need
yes.
to pass on that excellence. So
Yes,
at any
yes.
point in time that you're ready, remember that you have an army that is also ready to support you. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think that it should be something, even if it's just YouTube live like this, having conversations,
Yeah.
where you are genuinely passing it on and all of those things. So finally, if we are to support you, how can we do that? How can we support the brand Uzor Arukwe?
Um, First off, you can follow me on IG at uzor.arukwe. I'm on X as well, Uzor Arukwe. I feel like that would start the conversation.
Mm,
I recently just started my YouTube channel. There's
okay.
nothing on there yet. I don't have
Mm,
content yet, but I and my team are deliberating upon what sort of content we want to put out, because
mm,
already there is a lot of Nigerian Nollywood films that are being that people are consuming, and then I
mm.
and my team want to be sure that that's what if that's what we want to also do. But it's Uzo Arukwe everywhere, so if anywhere you just see Uzo Arukwe, that's most probably me, and most probably it has to be verified if it's me. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I'll
Thank you.
release you because I know you're going to set, but I'll
Like, I'm
talk
so
to you.
distracted, like they're talking on me from every corner.
I
But
know.
I'm
I'll
happy.
talk to you where we talk to you.
Yes, I'm happy I did this, and thank you for having me. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you too.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you. All righty.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone who joined. Uzo needed to go back to film, and I know that, he needed to do that. Thank you so much. The questions are very fast. And if you have anything, please support him. Like he said, support Nigerian filmmakers. It is very hard. And I know it is hard because I have a documentary, the story of a girl who stood up for emotional intelligence in Nigeria. And I can categorically tell you, it was very hard to produce. Is my nephew still here? I need you guys to meet my nephew. He's been telling me to bring him on. Chris, are you in the house? I just need you to say hello. Christopher, this is your time to shine. Where are you? This is your time to be a celebrity. Where are you? Chris, going, going, going. I need you to meet my nephew. He's been telling me that I need to bring him up. He needs to talk. He needs to say something. He's 12 going on 13. Christopher, are you here? Just give me 30 seconds. You are here. Good. So let me invite you. Okay. I need to send you the invite to join this live session. Guys, I need you to meet my nephew. Trust me, you will like him. Just hold on. I need to send him the invite to join because I don't want, he's 12, and then we need to encourage our sons and daughters to be good people. So Chris, please check grandma's WhatsApp and then just click on it, and then I will bring you live in the house. And you're just going to say hello to all the awesome people. So just check grandma's WhatsApp and click, and then you will be right in the studio. And you're just going to introduce yourself. Because if I don't bring up my nephew, I'm going to have some generational conversations, but I need to encourage him. He said he was going to join, and he did. And then his friends, he keeps telling his friends about his auntie who is a celebrity and all of those good things. Christopher, you got 30 seconds to show up. Thank you so much, every soul who joined. Please remember to like this video, give us a thumbs up so that other people can watch it. And then I'll see you also next week. And if you live in Dallas, Texas, please send me a DM on Instagram. I have something for you. You live in Dallas, Texas, please send me a DM on Instagram. I have something for you. If you live in Dallas, Texas, please send me a DM on Instagram. I have something for you. I also have another guest that I'll be bringing up soon, not today, but I have another guest that I'll be bringing up soon where we'll be having live conversations so that you can see the work that goes on behind the scene when good people produce things. I know how hard it is to produce a movie. I tried to produce a documentary and it was quite wild. Christopher, I can see just half of your head. Can you just sit up? They just need to see your face, that's all, and then just say hello. How are you?
Hold it now. Hello.
How are you? How you doing? I'm just gonna say bye.
Okay. Bye. I liked your live stream. Grandma liked it too.
Okay. Thank you. Enjoy yourself. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
So thank you everybody for joining. I will see us next week. Just keep following. Please like the conversations and please invite your friends to do this again. And the final thing I'm going to say is as you start the week and get into the week, please remember to give all of yourself into everything that you are required to do. Uzo said something very important. He said, I just met Bam Bam for the first time ever on set. And guess what? You could never have imagined or suspected that they were meeting for the first time. The chemistry was solid, the interpretation was solid, the delivery was excellent to the point where they made a film successful. So, in whatever you're doing, remember that you are good enough and you can help somebody else be successful and be successful yourself. So, I'll see you some other time. Thank you, and do have a restful weekend and a prosperous week ahead of you. Let your week be wealthy and beautiful. I love you. Thank you.